Kelsey Plum for LA had to take a dig at Caitlin Clark.
You know, not to tattletale, but 0 members of Team Clark were very present for that.
And now the merch sales are up 500% and attendance is up, 40%.
Imagine this. The WNBA is suddenly selling out arenas. Fans are buying jerseys like never before, and players are flying private instead of cramped economy. What's behind this revolution? Caitlin Clark. But here's the twist. Her peers don't appreciate her. Colin Cowherd breaks down why the league is thriving and who's trying to undermine its biggest star. You know what's wild? Caitlin Clark is single-handedly dragging the WNBA into an era of mainstream excitement. She's the biggest crowd puller in women's basketball. Her impact is undeniable. Under her spotlight, the league is thriving like never before. Merchandise sales have exploded by 500%. Ticket sales are breaking records, and WNBA arenas are seeing a 40% spike in attendance.
I don't have a problem with the WNBA players asking for a raise. The WNBA is on a hot streak. So I do think a lot of people are saying, hey, man, this league has never made money. It's an investment. It's now going to make money. I don't care about the previous 24, 25 years. As an investment, it's starting to pay off.
These aren't small changes, they're game-changing. Even the perks for players are improving, with private jets replacing the uncomfortable budget airlines they'd tolerated for years. Colin Cowherd was quick to label Clark the golden goose of the WNBA, and honestly, it's hard to argue with him when the numbers paint such a clear picture. She's not just lifting her team, she's lifting the entire league.
And so this week they wore T-shirts saying, making a statement, you better pay us. But instead of just leaving it at that, she got you an upgrade to a better hotel as a band member. Kelsey Plum for LA had to take a dig at Caitlin Clark.
But here's where things get messy. Instead of uniting the league, Clark's rise has exposed a deep divide. Some of the WNBA's biggest stars aren't exactly rolling out the red carpet for her. Take the All-Star voting, for example. Caitlin might be a sensation with the fans, but when it came to player votes, 9th place. 9th.
You know, not to tattletale, but 0 members of Team Clark were very present for that.
like this is the player that got you off the airline that was bright yellow. Listen, NBA players make 50% of revenues. WNBA players make 9%.
A player who's already the face of the league somehow couldn't find love from her own peers. That says a lot, doesn't it? Cowherd compares it to Michael Jordan's early NBA days, where older players resented the hype surrounding him.
As the Caitlin Clark momentum train gets bigger. I mean, this year she's not playing well, she's hurt, she's not there for all the games. This is the least profitable, arguably, it'll be over the next 10 years. It's only going to get more profitable as women's basketball gets better. So this is actually not as great as it could be. Like Michael Jordan, hurt year 2, next 12 years were legendary. That's what it's going to be.
Back then, Jordan's talent threatened the established order. It feels eerily similar here, except now it's Caitlin Clark catching the heat. Cowherd points out that jealousy is at the heart of this, and it's strange because these same players benefit from everything Clark brings to the table: endorsement dollars, sold-out venues, elevated media attention.
And now the merch sales are up 500% and attendance is up 40%. But it's just misstep after misstep. It's time to grow up, girls, like fast. So they're going to get a raise. There's no question. And I don't really care that the previous 25 years, they didn't make a lot of money or lost money. I don't care.
Yet still, resistance lingers. Some players wore those infamous "pay us what you owe us" shirts, a jab at league inequality. Guess who was allegedly absent from the conversation about it? Clark's squad, reportedly enjoying a night out instead. The tension is more than personal, it's symbolic, pointing to bigger issues within the league. Kelsey Plum's remarks about disrespect unintentionally highlight this gulf. Maybe the WNBA isn't as unified as we're led to believe. So what's really causing this tension? Let's talk about it. Here's the crazy part. The same players criticizing Caitlin Clark are the ones who are thriving because of her impact. Make it make sense, right? Colin Cowherd didn't hold back when addressing Kelsey Plum's sharp comments about Clark and her team.
I'm not bailing on the investment. I want to finally get my money back. So they're going to get a raise. They're finally turning a corner. Stop talking. I don't mind the t-shirts. I think you have leverage. I think you deserve more than 9%. But and negotiating in any business is all about current momentum. It's not about 12 years ago, it's about current momentum.
Plum called out Clark's squad for missing a meeting about the pay us what you owe us shirts, which was supposed to be a unified protest for better pay and benefits. The twist? Rumor has it Clark's team skipped the meeting because they chose to have a night out instead. The irony was not lost on Cowherd, who questioned why some players are so quick to turn on someone who's been a financial goldmine for the league.
But the projection for the WNBA going forward and the current momentum are really, really good. So the t-shirts don't bother me. Keep your issues to yourself. All right? You went from a Motel 6 in a sketchy part of town to a Four Seasons in the shopping district. But why do you take a shot at the Golden Goose, Caitlin Clark?
Think about it. Before Clark, WNBA players were dealing with cramped economy flights and motel-level accommodations. Now, thanks to the buzz surrounding her, the league has upgraded to private chartered flights and much better hotels. Cowherd broke it down perfectly when he compared it to flying on budget airlines, where even water costs extra versus suddenly going private. Clark's influence comes with perks that every player benefits from, and yet, resentment lingers.
You guys were flying before she arrived on one of those airlines that made you pay for a cup of water. Okay, if you're in a band and you're staying at the Motel 6 and you add a band member and now you're at the Ritz-Carlton, one of those airlines that is the planes are the color of a highlighter, now you're flying private.
Clark isn't just drawing fans, she's drawing dollars. She's raked in $11 million in endorsements this year alone. Her popularity is making headlines far outside of women's basketball, pulling new eyes to the league and creating a ripple effect. Attendance is up, TV ratings are climbing, and merchandise? Forget about it. Jerseys are selling out like crazy, and yet some veterans reportedly feel overshadowed by a rookie who's already being called the face of the WNBA. What's behind this hostility? Cowherd suggests it's fear. Fear of being left behind, fear of losing the spotlight, fear of change. Clark's presence puts a magnifying glass on the dynamics of the league, especially the frustration among older players who feel their contributions never got this kind of attention. It's envy mixed with a sense of being undervalued. That begs the question, can the WNBA evolve if it refuses to embrace what Clark is bringing to the table? Caitlin Clark isn't just a rookie, she's the engine driving the WNBA's transformation. Colin Cowherd nailed it when he said she's going to define the next decade of the league. The numbers don't lie. Record-breaking ticket sales, soaring merch revenues, and unprecedented media spotlight. But the WNBA's growth can't rest on one player, and that's the challenge. Will the league's veterans lift her up for the greater good, or will jealousy keep the league from reaching its full potential? This isn't just about basketball, it's a test of leadership in any industry. What comes next could change everything.